No research. We just hit tracks and hope for the best and see if we can make it. Hit our first sort of obstacle here. Something tells me that not many caravans full size get down this road, eh? So we're going to scratch the van, but it's going to be worth it. You should see this freaking campsite.
We are at Kinkuna Campground in Queensland and we're about to take the big rig down there. We have heard it is insanely soft, so we're low-key ourselves,
And we have done no research. Like always, it's not our style. We just hit tracks and hope for the best. So we've got our Land Cruiser here, Leroy. He's the V8 twin turbo, and we're towing our 18'9" Extreme Urban Caravan. That weighs about 3.3 tonnes, so it's a big rig. And hopefully we can get to the campsite, but we're going to bring you along for it.
Apparently it's very, very soft. But we did Bribey last week, and that was like the softest sand we've ever driven through.
Throw in a clip now of Bribey.
Yeah, that was soft.
I've dropped the van tyres to 15 PSI, so I reckon it's going to get pretty soft. Car's going down next. Let's get on the road and see if we can make it. Holy moly, this track is just bulldust. You guys would have just seen that. That was some serious bulldust. Poor Sarah. She's outside getting all these good shots for you guys. So, are you right? Did you get dusted?
Oh, it's so dusty.
Oh my God, how's the bulldust?
Far out, it looks that cool though.
We haven't seen bulldust like this since probably the Gibb River Road, I'd say. And it's like white bulldust. So this is gonna be a good test for the dust suppression in the van. We flicked it on. Sorry, I'll put my seatbelt on. This track is so much fun. It's not letting us down, but this is the exact reason why we own the caravan. We do. A lot of people reckon it's like too extreme and stuff, but yeah, this is the reason why we've got a fully off-road caravan that looks real aggressive like that. These are the times, these are the tracks. Anyway, this is so much fun. This is literally live in Barry. Oh, that was sick. Sarah just wheeled her way the whole way through that.
That was bloody nerve-wracking.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I was. I probably didn't breathe that. Oh my God, I'm still like, I didn't breathe that whole time. I was so nervous.
Explain to people like what it feels like to tow a van in comparison to just driving a car.
Well, I towed the little Armalite down a few of our little four-wheel drive tracks, but I've never towed the big van down four-wheel drive tracks. and it was like every time you went over a little hump, the whole van would literally just, it felt like it was pushing you forward. It obviously wasn't, but you can just feel it behind you. Like even when we're going through those ruddy sections, you can just like feel everything so much more. So it was very nerve-wracking, but once I got used to that feeling of like heaviness.
I've got bad news.
What?
We're only halfway through the track, not even. So we still got a few more Ks of that, and I think it gets harder. So it gets it gets softer. So I think we just did the easy bit. So let's jump on the hard bit.
Did the easy bit.
No, I've heard that it gets harder the further you go down, and normally when it's wet there's river crossings on this road, so we're glad it's been dry as buggery for the last few bloody weeks. So anyway, what do you reckon? I'm gonna jump in the cockpit.
Yeah.
All right, but the van's going well. It's so filthy. I don't know if you can see all that dust suppression fan's still humming away there. Let's keep going. This is sick. Oh, check this guy out. Mate's just having a pogo stick. Literally 50 metres up the road, we found someone that is proper bogged in their Ford. So we'll get out and see if they need a hand. We might be able to winch them backwards here, but the sand is real soft. It definitely did get a lot harder, eh? So we'll see what happens here. All right, we're gonna winch these people out. I think it's their only option, so I'm gonna pull the winch out and give them a tug. Go, you can do it, come on. They were a German couple, really nice people, eh? They were so surprised when we pulled them out. We're 7 ton combined, and they couldn't believe it, how we're not getting bogged, and they did. So anyway, that was fun, got to use the winch. Everyone knows I love using winches, so. Anyway, we've got to go back down this other track because there's bloody trees down here. We won't fit under them, so we've got to keep going on the soft stuff. We knew it was going to be hard, but yeah, hopefully we don't get bogged. Let's have a crack. Something tells me that not many caravans full size get down this road, eh? How many?
Something in the bush and I couldn't see what it was, but I could hear it.
It was probably a bloody drop bear or something.
Oh, big root.
Look how soft this is. Big wheel ruts, and people have been struggling hard. And the van, because the van's wider than the wheel tracks, just plows into the side. Hit our first sort of obstacle here, like the trees sort of overgrowing the track a little bit, so like the van's real tall. That's our Achilles heel, is clearance height, so we've got to pop it up on the bank real soft, so it's probably going to make the car go sideways. This is what I think is going to happen. It's going to go sideways, and hopefully we can get the van across as well. Normally when you turn sharp on sand, the trailer won't follow the car, it'll just keep going straight. So if we can pop it up here, I can avoid a few pinstripes on the van. Bloody just make it up as we go. we made it. So we've come another probably like 3 or 4 Ks up the road here. I reckon we've done about 15 Ks on this soft stuff. And it feels like we're on an adventure because I got dirt all over my face and I don't know where we're going, but it's super tight to get into this one. So we're gonna scratch the van, but it's gonna be worth it. You should see this freaking campsite. It is off its head. Does it get any better?
$14 a night.
And we got this big bloody weapon in here. Look at that. That's a big van. And we've got it in this little spot. How good is that?
That's living, Barry. What is not living is all this shit someone has left behind.
That's some mandarins. Check out that. Mandarin.
Bit of bush tucker. Look, punching bag.
Oh, look at all that dust. Oh no.
Were you worried we weren't going to actually get a camp?
I don't know what I was feeling. I was just feeling very hungry.
You don't want to see Sarah hungry, trust me. She can punch pretty hard for someone that weighs 50 kilos.
It's 2:30 and all we've had is like a little piece of bread, so I'm hungry.
Hungry. Alright, let's check the van for pinstripes, Sarah. Can you see any?
None from me, but you hit a few trees.
Look, there's scratching. Look, there's going to be a bit of scratching. Like there's going to be a bit of scratching. It's an off-road van.
No, it'll buff out.
Yeah, it'll buff out. The car's alright because we've got that bush wraps on it. That's all good, but it's just the van that I worry about because it's unprotected and it's a lot bigger than the car, so we scratch it a lot more. Let's go inside the van and see if there's any dust, because that bulldust was off its head, like literally. That bulldust was thicker than Sarah's farts. Oh, she's looking good. As you can see, no dust. That's a good sign. Nothing. That's just off the car and stuff, but yeah, she's looking good. Dust suppression's doing its job. All right, so setting up the new van. We've had it for about 6 months, but one thing we have been loving, and we've stated before, you don't need this, right? We went so long without it, but having it, you definitely don't look back. So it's the airbag system. So this little controller right here, and then I come to the front of the van. You level the van up and, back and front ways with the jockey wheel, and then you level out the side by side with the airbag. So as you can see, we're on a horrible lean at the moment. The bubble's all the way over the other side. So we'll step back and we'll pump up this side here and it lifts it up. And then in the same breath, we can let down the other side. And Bob's your auntie's, uncle's, Mrs. Dog's sister's brother-in-law. She's all level. Make sure you flick your airbags off so it doesn't wake you up in the middle of the night. Got airbags in the back of the car as well. So as you can see here, this is how much we run when we're towing the van to stiffen up the rear end. So to dump that, all we have to do is lift these toggles. And they tell you to leave a little bit left in the bags, don't completely empty them, but that drops the back of the car and makes the ride go back to like perfect, soft, comfy ride. So that's the good thing about running really low rate springs. We're running 400 kilo constants. They wanted to put 600s in, but we said no because it would have been so stiff, and we've just compensated with airbag. Definitely recommend that when you're setting up your tow vehicle, is go as light as you can and then put airbags in, and then you can have the best of both worlds. Soft ride when you're not towing, and then stiffer ride and also a level car when you are towing. So that's a little tip for you. But check this out, we've got the van here all set up, and there's the beach. So the tide's out, we're expecting it to come right up here tonight. We've got a random bucket here, don't know what that's for, but how sick is this? This is why we travel Australia. We say it all the time, bit of a broken record, but this is bloody sick. Going on? What are you doing? Explain to everyone what's happened.
We haven't used it for like a good 10 hours, which is what it says to do before you change it. But that is not composted properly. Yuck. But while we're on the topic, because we've had so many messages lately, and till this day I've said, oh, it's fine, it's nothing to worry about.
Oh, don't let that blow away.
Basically, you just get one of those like bricks from Bunnings. We cut it in half, and then you break it all up into a bucket, and then put some water through it to make the compost mix. So one of those bricks costs $6, so it's $3 per mix, and we change it every like 3 to 4 weeks. The compost section. It is paying off, but when you have a little mishaps like today.
So you're saying that it hasn't really broken down properly, the compost this time, but it's the first time it hasn't broken down properly.
When did you last go to the toilet?
Like days ago.
It was my shit, so it's all good. Like we said, we wanted to use it for a good 6 months before we put a review out there because, yeah.
People that are buying vans aren't getting rid of them after 6 months. You want to know it's going to be good after like 6 months, a year, not
and
after.
Personally, like, well, we've had this for 6 months now, and personally we would stay with the compost if we were to get another van. So yeah, we like it, but it's definitely not for everyone.
Should I get some like really cinematic shots of the toilet? So we just unhooked the van and we've come for a drive down to the Kuna River. Now this is probably about 5 k's down from where we're staying. It's a beautiful little creek. It's literally crystal clear. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a little mangrove jack living in here or something, because it's pretty mangrovey. And yeah, we're gonna have a little crack here, but there's no guarantees of my fishing. But what a day, like honestly, it's just classic. And this creek is just insane. It reminds me of Eli Creek in Fraser.
Just like it was yesterday, and how you used to turn around to me.
Keelan, give us a wave. So Keelan's just gone down the river, but he's just yelled out that he's seen a mud crab pot, and I was literally just saying to him on the way here that we need to get ourselves a mud crab pot because we don't know how to catch them, and we're actually too scared to try and grab them because they're like got the biggest claws ever. If you're thinking about coming to Kinkuna, put it on your list because it is absolute magic, and honestly it just feels so good to be back in country where you just feel like you're secluded, you're here by yourself. Like there's a few people getting around, but the campsite is like huge. You can just get so many campsites, and yeah, it's really, really beautiful, and like just the serenity around here is, it's next level. It's really, really nice.
Oh well. No fish. I actually got snagged first cast after I got on the other side of the bank, but you can see the fish in the water because it's so clear. I think they're just silver brim. Bang the drone up, show you guys this place. It's pretty specky, especially on low tide. Woo. Woo.
Oh, you're slowing down a bit. So we're just cruising along. I was like proper daydreaming. Keelan was just droning, and we're getting some like really nice shots. And I look out the driver window, and the freaking huge hawk was swooping the drone. I was like, holy shit, Keelan, stop the car.
You're driving. You should have told yourself to stop the car. So when we pulled out them Germans today, like part of me wants to like film the whole thing and like get pretty much the whole dialogue and like approaching someone to help them and stuff, because a lot of people don't want help. Like you'll come across them on the track bog, but they won't want your help. But these guys, they really did, but I just don't have the balls to like go up to them with a GoPro and stuff. And obviously you wouldn't want to put someone in that situation where they might not be comfortable to be filmed or whatever. So we just don't do it like at all. I went up to him and I said, how you going? Are you all right? And like, you could just tell he couldn't really understand what I was saying, because like I was using a bit of slang saying, how you going? Like, you all right? Give him a few seconds to work out what I was actually asking him. Like, he thought he could get out himself, so I was like, oh, I'll just give you 10 minutes, I won't leave you. We were going further down the track anyway, and then he come back to us and said, oh, like 10 minutes later after trying to get out himself, he said, oh no, I'm gonna need some help. So there's a lot of people out there that get stuck and they either don't want your help, they don't want like their egos to get crushed or whatever, but the fact of the matter is everyone gets stuck. But I wish I just had that that ballsiness to actually film it, because yeah, even though it's probably not the right thing to do, it'd be such good viewing for you guys. But yeah, we're gonna light this fire now. What a spot, eh? How sick is this? We'll bang the drone up now and we'll show you how special this place is, because it truly is. And the tide's way out now, so tomorrow morning when we wake up, it's gonna be fully in. It's gonna be sick. Can't wait to show you that. So let's light this fire and get the drone up. It should be insane.
I don't know what I can do. Haven't slept for a week or two, and it all is breaking down on me. I pray for you to set me free.
Oh, that's shit. Good morning, guys. So last night was a cracker night. The stars come out to play, and this morning the kangaroos come out to play. So right on sunrise, saw them little kangaroo family, and the mum actually had a joey, but because I hadn't had a coffee, I was pretty rusty on the old camera and the focus wasn't quite on the bloody kangaroos, but you get that. I've got me coffee now, freshly brewed. I thought I'd give you guys some information about the track that we did yesterday and whether or not you guys could get your setups down here, because it's all well and good us saying, oh, you know, we got our setup down here, blah, blah, blah. But if we don't give you the information, part of what we do, it's valuetainment. So, you know, we've got to provide some value too. So let's talk a bit about the track. The time of year we're doing this is June, and it's dry as buggery. So it hasn't rained for probably 2-3 weeks. I think it shows in the track. I've watched one video of someone else doing this track before and it was really wet. So it does get really flooded, this track, depending on what month you do it. So I guess you pick your poison. If it is dry and it hasn't rained, you're gonna get really, really soft sand. So be prepared for that. We're running 15 PSI all round and we're 6-8 combined mass. So it's a pretty big, heavy combined weight. But then again, if it is wet, you're gonna get a few little water crossings, a few puddles, but the sand's gonna be a lot harder. So definitely pick your months on when to come in here. With saying that, we think that a hybrid caravan would do this very, very comfortably. Our hybrid would be our old hybrid, the Armalite, would have been perfect to bring down here. More well suited than a full-size caravan. If you've got a camper trailer, again, you definitely get it down here. Just make sure your tow vehicle's up to scratch. And then if you're towing, well, you guys saw yesterday, that couple had 18 PSI on their tires and they still got bogged. So that just shows you how soft the sand is. So I guess if you are confident enough to do a bit of off-road work when you're towing a big caravan, then definitely have a crack. But don't come in here if you don't have max tracks. If you buy yourself, make sure you've got a winch. If you are getting stuck and bogged, a lot of the time towing, the max tracks might not cut it. So definitely have a few backups there. Come in prepared and you'll have a sick time and you'll get spots like this. But hopefully that sums it up for you guys. A bit of information about whether you would get your setup in here or not. And if you are enjoying today's vid, definitely hit the subscribe button. We go off the subscribe count to see if we're actually providing you guys with good content that you want to see. So if a lot of people hit the subscribe button, we think, oh bloody oath, like people have really enjoyed this video, and we'll do videos like that in the future. It's free to do and it supports us a lot, so really appreciate that, guys. I'm gonna go wet a line because I haven't been catching many fish lately, but hopefully today's my day. There's fishing right in front of your camp, and if I can catch a stinner, it's gonna be an added bonus, I reckon. Anyway, some mob just got bogged right in front of our camp. They were having a bit of a sticky beak, a bit of a geese, and then they got themselves bogged. So anyway, let's try to catch a fish.
Thanks so much for watching today's episode, guys. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to support our channel. Next week we're going to show you arguably one of the best hip camps in Queensland.
Oh yeah, you'd be a bloody silly goose not to watch this next episode. Cheers, ladies.
See you next time, Turkey.